I'm hoping that, the all-timer, the Hall of Famer might have a little inside scoop. Do you have any inside scoop for us?
No, I don't have a lot of inside scoop due to the fact that the news just came out here in Canada today about the potential merger. I mean, but I do have questions about the merger and how close it is to the season of 2021 and and the protocols. I mean, so I have a lot of those questions because the CFL did hire the NHL advisor person that dealt with the how the NHL is going to play this year with all the Canadian teams pretty much playing all the Canadian teams and they're not going across the border and they're going to play like each team like 10 times or something like that. That's going to be the record. And I think the hockey teams in the States are going to stay in the States and play. And so there's different divisions, no crossing the borders. And so with that combination of talks, now I'm wondering now, why would you bring out this kind of information about the potential, um, two leagues coming together? And there's a rich history in the Canadian Football League, and then you're dealing with the XFL, who had two fold, and I'm not sure if they had any successful years, 5 years success in a row to deal with the league that had two cancellations already.
Well, obviously, Damon, like from my perspective, the importance of having alternative leagues to the NFL, right? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, wait, what was that? How many Grey Cups did you win?
Yeah, four.
Four.
Enough.
Four.
And obviously one of the greatest ballers of all time, and yet was not in the NFL, right? And we've seen that there is tons of talent that is not necessarily, for whatever reason, in the National Football League. How do you feel about the importance of having, obviously an alternative to the NFL? And do you see that something like a CFL XFL merger could, up the ante and maybe even compete with the NFL in terms of where talent go?
Well, I think then you should have the conversation directly to the NFL and merge that way, where now the NFL has a bundle of money to be able to give to the CFL and work out some kind of, their players are not getting opportunity to play. They would play in one of these teams to make sure they stay active, just like basketball in a sense. You put them, their players are not playing into a bubble. They would probably have to play Canadian rules, but when you go back to playing football, the foundation of playing football, tackle, catch, and all those things is still the same. Our rules are just a little bit different because we can be more creative in our formations. Everyone can be in motion, and so that makes the game very interesting. But at times it could be actually harder than what you see in the National Football League.
I have a plan that's kind of all of the sudden formulating in my head, QB. I know that Danny Garcia, XFL has a female owner, and I've got to believe that Danny, The Rock, and hopefully the CFL as well are going to want to do things differently. So, I'm sitting here talking to you, thinking about the combined FBI, and I think we should kind of put a plan together, and tell them we want to roll. So, like, if we were to put that plan together, could I include you on the coaching staff?
Absolutely, you can go to Rock first. Go to Rock first. Go to the Rock first. I mean, we want to go to the head honcho.
But look,
I wish I was a fly on the phone or somebody a fly on the wall and understand this conversation, because the questions are, the border issues, the style of play, what they gonna play, American style, or are they gonna play Canadian rules? I mean, it's all these different things that you have to look at and then have to iron out. And I'm more interested in that. And then the conversation, are they talking about in the future conversations, or this is something they're trying to implement now? If they're implementing now, it doesn't make sense. But in the future, it could make sense. And that's why I guess you would have these conversations. But I'll also look at having a conversation with the National Football League and try to, create a plan with them directly, because if it's all everyone's trying to play to be a feeder for the National Football League, we'll just go right to the head honchos.
Well, I know the AAF actually was designed to be a feeder league, particularly with the focus on the development of quarterbacks and offensive linemen, right? Having coached there, I know it.
Yeah.
I feel like with the XFL and the CFL talking, it may not be to feed to the NFL, but it may be to actually put some pressure on and compete with the NFL for the first time. And, you said The Rock, but I'm still going back to Danny Garcia, who The Rock credited as the architect behind that purchase. And knowing that he credited her as the architect of that purchase, I want to talk to her. I want to pick up the phone because somehow I feel like she would take a call from another woman in football, because there are not.
Absolutely.
And if I can say, I already have the GOAT of the CFL who's ready to roll with me to roll with y'all, I think we might be working with something. I feel like we could start some rumors just like they did today.
No, absolutely. You can start it because, we're in that culture and that environment where women are getting the opportunities to do every aspect of the game of football. And so, you make a really good point. And he made a really good hiring on the inclusiveness and the equality that come along in the conversations that they're having, from referees to people in the front office to coaching positions. And so I'm just interested in that. I wish I would have been in that call, man. It would have been
I think we all want to be on that call, right? I know I do.
Yes.
Like the second I saw it, I was like, ooh, now we're working on something.
Well, absolutely. That was the first thing I said, XFL and CFL potentially merging.